This presentation will start in a moment. Welcome to Video 2, the second half of the presentation of running the numbers for CCMS, the fast-tracked, affordable Center for Contemporary Music Studies. This video will concentrate on the projected numbers broken out over 60 months, which at CCMS are divided into academic years 1 through 5, and each year has 4 10-week quads. We'll start with our payroll projections. In education delivery, this is by far the largest expense affecting any school's bottom line. We have 4 distinct types of employee designations. Core members are the 10 full-time faculty and administrative team that form the basis of CCMS. Our adjunct faculty are highly trained part-time positions that work directly for the core faculty module directors. We have both full and part-time staff. This employee designation covers everything from office manager to operations, as well as specifically assigned assistants. Our program support representatives, or PSR staff, are call center specialists with background in all fundamental modules during teaching and study hours. There are also 2 supervisors to oversee the call center operations that ultimately roll up to adjunct and core members for additional support. From the top down, the system is designed so that our faculty and staff can easily cross over to any other area, so the entire system of delivery on our promise is fluid and challenges our employees on a daily basis. This grid shows the basic structure of salary and full or part-time hourly employees. First is our core team members, which includes both administration and faculty. This also shows our adjunct section, our full-time staff, and then our PSRs. Continuing further into the metrics of payroll projection, this grid shows base salary loaded at 28%, take home yearly with an average 31% deducted for statutory deductions and benefits. This here shows years 2 through 5 with an annual 5% increase to salaries at the 28% loaded level. Chart 1 shows the relationship between payroll, and Chart 2 shows the relationship of payroll to projected cash in. The next 5 slides show projected staffing numbers on the top grid with the 10 core members collapsed, and the payroll as each employee comes on board. As you'll view these pages, understand that adjunct and PSRs are the primary flexible employment designation that is based on enrollment and number of course and fee offerings as they are brought online. Academic year 1 is basically the core team and a small support staff for the first 9 months that are focused on finalizing all systems, creating personalized input to the curriculum, and gearing up for our beta testers and our first path offerings in Quad 4. Also notice that we've shown the sum of salary and hourly in the top right-hand corner for your convenience. Academic Year 2 shows many more offerings coming online and staffing to support this expansion. Academic Years 3, 4, and 5 show the staffing based on the projections, the industry, and enrollment effects. Our cash-in has 6 different revenue streams: tuition, fees, retail, sponsorship, subscription, and granting. The next few slides will break down the math behind these streams. First, we'll look at our tuition. This element has the most amount of calculation in determining the gross income based on several multipliers. This slide shows the grids of what goes into the projections of enrollment. First, we have our tuition-based 9 paths. Then this is our cost per credit hour, a typical comparative value used commonly by educational institutions. The amount of credit hours required to complete a path, and then by doing the basic math, we come up with a base tuition for the path. Cost per credit times path required credits equals base tuition. Later we'll show 2 other multipliers that add to a student's enrollment cost. The true mastery of the system is that we now have cash flow spread over many times each year instead of focused on September semester startup. And this allows us great freedom in adjusting our marketing strategies within a year and not putting all our efforts on a single yearly target date. This way we are not having to wait an entire 12 months to see if a particular tactic works. This way we can even adjust our marketing for different seasons as well as for any new trends that are adopted by the industry. Let's run through the projected growth of enrollment at CCMS for academic years 1 through 5. Keep in mind that our first 9 months of operation will be adding development, beta testing, and system startup, with our first paths being offered in Quad 4, with limited enrollment in college entrance, career, and continuing education paths. By the way, this presentation is all running off our main Excel backend, so we can adjust our projections and have them show up here instantly. Our fee-based offerings are 12 programs which are sold on a one-student, one-time offering premise. Some offerings are mandatory for completion of a particular path, mostly focused around our Visiting Artist series, but we have taken that into account with our projections on these grids. We offer an audit program for students wanting just one subject and no credits, our startup beta testing group, 2 different band development programs, and our Showtime Summer Camp for all areas of live show production with a final performance open to the public. A major part of the delivery of education involves a very robust Visiting Artist series, which takes advantage of the huge network of top professionals that are peers to our core members. These are offered as webinars, seminars with concerts, and live streamed. The ability to sell this element is global. Our seminar series is taking advantage of our incredibly diverse and talented faculty in 3 levels of traveling seminars that other schools, communities, and organizations can bring in to focus on a specific topic we offer. As of now, we have a unique focus on improvisation, technology, world music, and skill sets for industry jobs. Highly sought after plugins for many markets. Each of the following pages has the projected fees total for the academic year at the top right, the projected sales in the middle grid, and the result of fee times sales. At CCMS, there is 2 retail-based required purchases similar to book purchases, but about the cost of 1 typical college-level textbook. Each student enrolled in a tuition-based class must purchase a hosting package from our endorsed provider, AceNet. This not only provides them with one of the most robust hosting services, but their 24/7 support is fantastic, and the package comes with all the software they will need to create a great online presence with all the room and bandwidth they will need for a high-end multimedia site. The cost is $255 for 2 years, all inclusive, of which CCMS makes $50 in resale profit. Based on projected enrollment, here we show projected server sales profit. Each path or fee-based offering has a tremendous amount of server units included with the tuition, but that is for distance learning and online studies. Each educational offering has a certain amount of resource material they will actually need to download and print. For every credit hour their path requires, they must pay a $15 per credit hour in download fees. So the math is $15 times required path credits times the number of enrolled students. Sponsorship and gifting are two vital aspects of any school, especially music or, for that matter, any art. We have our sponsorship program called the CODA Project, which stands for Creating Opportunities for Developing Artists, and our subscription social networking online system called CCM Subscribe. Both of these programs take advantage of already proven models: sponsorship with robust fulfillment, and the Community Concert Series for low-cost involvement and exposure to great performers. As an LLC or for-profit school, we are limited to the amount of grants and other funding that is available. We have identified several programs which can average $27,000 per year. And so let's look at the results of all these numbers. This page shows cash in, payroll, and our operating expenses. Because the vast majority of operating expenses are the same each month, most of our yearly totals are simply monthly charges times 12. We have built in a reserve fund and have increased our lease going into year 4 when we plan to move into a larger facility. Then finally, our startup expenses with assets on a depreciation schedule, our cost of goods sold, and the final P&L that brings all these numbers together. We hope that video 1 and this video gives you a clear picture on how viable a business CCMS can be. Our 5-year plan is really phase 1. To establish a globally recognized, fast-track, and affordable school of music that really prepares our student for a career in the field of music performance, production, marketing, and technology. So set your sights on the future, because it's CCMS.